Hello, guys. We are here for the academic discussion in English, and today's topic is pandemic. Before starting the topic and its discussion, let us first introduce ourselves. I am Harsh.
Hi, my name is Alejandro.
Hi, my name is Berenice.
Pandemic is an epidemic of infectious diseases that has spread to human population across a large region. For example, AIDS, SARS, Ebola, and what we are currently facing, that is coronavirus. There are many of the problems related to this situation. Here today we are going to talk about some of the questions and discuss the possible solution of those questions and hence lead to a conclusion. The first question is, how do we increase world population in the healthcare security? What do you think about it, Alejandro?
I think that it's important that many research institutions about healthcare or governments get involved about this kind of topic because they are the principal authorities to create policies or restrictions that can be mandatory, and also they have to take part of these actions even if they are not part of the World Health Organization. And also health institutions, research institutions should provide protocols in case of pandemic to avoid trade or tourist traveling and restrictions in airports, who are one of the most important uh, hero zones to where pandemics can come from.
Yes, there are several of the institutions already formed, but we find several of the countries are not actively participating in those institutions. What do you think about it, Benares?
Yeah, I think that international cooperation is a key tool, and also I think that one key source is also the academia and the scientific community and the sharing of information in this global age. And I think that it's not only the for one country; it's for the well-being of the whole international community. So we must encourage that kind of mechanism to share information and to create a collaborative work mechanism.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. There are certain other situations like how do we stop media frenzy and misinformation? What is your experience about it, Benares?
I think that we should, at the personal level, we should adopt a kind of filter when we are looking at internet for news. And in this filter, we can ask ourselves about who is writing the article and if there is an international organization behind this article. And we have to bear in mind that there are internet information that is not true. So we have to ask ourselves about these authorities that are writing this kind of articles and newspapers, and that's all.
As we are also currently facing the same situation, have you faced any kind of this media frenzy or misinformation, Alejandro?
Well, I absolutely agree with Berenice. I share the main point, that is being reflexive or critical about the information you are finding on internet or maybe in TV programs, because some fake news can provide some stress or anxiety to population. So you really need to know if it is genuine information, and it's necessary that you don't uh, don't only look for information that is in your national news, you also need to look for information that is provided from international TV programs or news to have a more wide panoramic about the issue.
Yes, it's totally true that we have to check out what is true and what is false regarding all of this situation, because there is a lot of misconceptions going on around us. Now, there is another issue about poverty. What do you think about the worldwide poverty and its relationship with pandemic? Benares?
I think that the population living in poverty situation are more at risk when we are talking about pandemic, and we should create a plan, an action plan. When this kind of emergencies occur, we have to focus on this population in order to give them the resources that they need to face, and to ensure their food security and also their health access to medicines and to health services. And we have to do it before these emergencies, not during the emergency, because it would be difficult to attend the threat and also to attend the vulnerable population.
Yes, food security definitely becomes an issue for the poor people below the poverty line. Do you agree with it, Alejandro?
Yes, I absolutely agree with her because those governments have to create some monetary savings to provide the assurance to population that can count with this maybe some money to help their companies or their small enterprises, and also for caring about the vulnerable population.
Yes, other than poverty, sanitation is also a very big issue. What do we do about sanitation and its relationship to the pandemic? What is your idea about it, Benares?
I think that they have a direct link, and if we adopt the sanitation measures, we can stop the spread of the pandemic. But we have to, again, to see to the population that is more in risk and that don't have the resource to adopt these sanitation measures, and we should give them the resource and the material that they need to adopt these measures, and also the people that have the opportunity should do it because it's for the well-being of the whole community.
What is your experience about it, Alejandro?
Well, I think that it's important that governments should, counting with this monetary saving, take some resources to create international campaigns to attend this kind of pandemics in that moments, and also deploy a large technical team to train medical staff, universities, colleges, and also maybe creating some TV programs for broadcasting in public television, the measures that the population has to put in practice to protect themselves and also their family members, and it will also reduce in an important amount the contagious and infections.
Yes, public awareness is a very big issue, and definitely we need to work on it. And public places are the ones which need sanitation. On the other hand, improving sanitation quality and hygiene on a personal level is also very important. Which takes us to our last question, that is there something we can do personally with respect to this issue? What is your thinking about it, Canary?
I think that personally we can adopt all the measures recommended by the authorities, and doing that, we are being responsible not only for ourselves but also for the society. And this kind of compromise from part reflects our social responsibility with the other. When, for example, if I get sick, I stay at home and not go out, and doing so, I'm taking care of myself and I'm taking care of the others. So this cooperation, this empathy for the others is crucial in these difficult times.
Do you agree with her, Alejandro?
Yeah, I think it's necessary from utmost importance to become aware of hygienic measures and also adopting, as Berenice mentioned, the authorities' indications that to prevent these infections, and as using mask, protective mask, alcohol gel, uh, in order to prevent the contagious and the spread of this kind of diseases.
Yes, almost about 3 times we faced the situation like these of pandemics within a decade, which means we have to be aware and keep ourselves full of immunity for keeping ourselves free of diseases on a personal level. Other than that, we should also spread social awareness regarding these activities and also sanitization and keeping ourselves hygiene and clean. Also eating good food, preventing ourselves from unhygienic places, doing exercise will increase our immunity and help us to survive any kind of situation like this what we feel facing today. Hence we can conclude. Okay, thank you for this discussion.
Thank you.
You.
Anybody